All right, so I'm back with Sunny, and my guest today who called me on the phone is my niece Tisha.
How y'all doing?
What's going on? What's going on?
Uh,
You
Not
know,
much.
when I do these podcasts, I don't really have intros and what we're going to talk about. I just get right into it.
Right.
So I know you and I before. Hold on, let me turn the music down in the background. Alexa, pause. Okay, so I know before we started the show, you and I was talking about, the real history behind Thanksgiving.
Right.
And we this country, America, has indoctrinated us so bad that we are so blinded to understand that we've been lied to for so long. You know what it reminds me of?
Mm.
It reminds me of the scene in Men in Black when they put up that little flashy lights thingy. You know what I'm talking about in
No,
Men
I
in
didn't see that movie. I
You
don't
never
think.
saw Men in Black with Will Smith?
Uh.
What?
No,
Okay,
I've never really watched it. No,
what? Okay, you gotta watch it.
I
So,
gotta watch it.
there's a scene in the movie whenever there's an alien and the people see the alien
Uh-huh.
to get them not to remember. They'll say, "Look this way," and they'll hold up like this little flashlight and they'll flash it, and then they won't remember nothing.
Oh yeah,
So
programming.
it just flashes everything
Yeah.
they saw, and it makes them erase everything that they just witnessed, and
Yep.
they don't
Memory.
remember. Right, memory lost, memory blanked out. So I
Right.
feel like this is what has been happening to us here in this country. We've been indoctrinated so bad we don't remember, and we don't know half the things that we've been told. We don't
Programs.
Right. We don't know the truth behind not half the things, majority of the things that we've been told, that we've been taught, and that whole history of Thanksgiving. So you said
Right.
you was telling me something about the Wampanoag. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, there were two tribes during the time of when the Pilgrims came to America, and the Wampanoag tribe and the Pequot tribes. They helped them learn how to harvest the white pilgrims. And at some point, they didn't agree. And of course, the pilgrims turned on the Pequot and they turned on the Wampanoag tribe and they slaughtered them.
Mm,
Massacre, a major massacre. And after that massacre, they had a feast of a celebration, what is known now as Thanksgiving, to celebrate that they massacred them.
mm,
And they sat down at that table, a long table with a turkey in the middle, pumpkins and sweet potato pies and all the stuff that they harvested from and stole from
mm-hmm,
those tribes. And they had a feast and they called it Thanksgiving to celebrate the massacre.
mm.
And what happens is, because generation after generation we were indoctrinated to have this holiday where we're excited and happy and loving each other, so-called celebrating thankfulness. No, you're celebrating the murder of these tribes.
Mm. That's
And you
crazy.
and then you reenact that whole feast every year.
That's
You do
crazy.
exactly what they did after they killed them people. So I look at it as a ritual.
Yeah,
You are doing a ritual every year celebrating the deaths and the murder of those lost souls.
that's
And
crazy.
I'm not a part of that. I'm not doing that anymore. Now that I know you don't have to, people don't understand, you don't have to take on the tradition. Think for yourself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And make your own tradition. You don't have to do that.
Well,
Who says you have to do it? You
my
don't.
tradition when they do it, because there people just still on that train. It's hard to break a habit for some
It
people.
is.
It's
It
really hard for
is.
them to break routine, but for me, when it comes around, I'm out of here. I'm getting on the plane, train, automobile. I'm gone.
You're gone.
I'm
Yeah.
planning a trip so that I
Yeah.
can celebrate myself with my spiritual side and my
Right.
my awareness and my
Right.
mental and my thoughts, and ground myself. That's what I do,
Right. Yeah, this is a hard time of year, especially for me. This year has been really hard because, well, Thanksgiving was hard in a sense because my mom, she didn't want to cook, which she cooked, but she wasn't cooking for the purpose of quote unquote
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. So I
Yeah.
was glad to hear that. I didn't participate in it, but we went out. I lit a candle for the lost, tribes,
Yeah.
and I made sure I called it something else like Truth's Giving Day. I
Hmm.
didn't, because I'm only gonna celebrate the truth. I'm not celebrating what they pretend we're celebrating.
The fairy
So
tale.
yeah, and so now we coming into Christmas. Oh my gosh,
Oh, that's
it's
another
another one
one.
because people, like you said, people don't want to break. They don't want to break these traditions because
Yeah.
they don't know what else to do, and I don't know. I just feel like it's no excuse to continue to do it when you know the truth. So
Yeah.
now we coming into Christmas,
Oh
and,
Lord.
although we know that there is no Santa Claus, we continue to lie to our children and tell them there's this old big fat white man that's coming to give you gifts so we can worship and praise him. You know what I'm saying?
Girl.
It's just a lot of ritualistic stuff that
Oh, it
people don't
is.
understand. Yeah, and
It is.
Christians love to talk about, oh, this you're a witch and you're doing voodoo or you're doing rituals. No, you're
Mm,
doing a ritual. You're doing the ritual, okay?
mm.
Because every Christmas and you talk about Jesus and you ain't doing nothing for Jesus. So shut up.
Mm-hmm.
That Christmas ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. It's all a bunch of greed and all a
That's
bunch of
actually a
ritualistic
pagan
stuff.
holiday. That's a pagan holiday.
Right.
It really is. It's a pagan holiday. A lot of these holidays here in America has come
It's
from Europe.
built
Like
on
it comes from
it.
Europe.
There, yeah. It's built on the Luciferian
Mhm.
traditions.
Mhm.
And if you
Mhm.
know who Luciferian is, if you're Christian, Lucifer is not a good person.
They know who it is.
They know who it is, but you
Yeah.
keep following that tradition. So it's just unbelievable that you know what a Luciferian is. However, you still follow it. And for me, I get really upset with Black people because of all people in the world, we know suffering more than anybody. And
Mhm.
why are you following a religion that is built on murder, rape,
Mhm.
enslavement, and all
Mhm.
that stuff? And you didn't have that before you got here.
Well, we were here already. A lot of us
And
were
that's
already
another
here.
thing. Yeah, that's another thing. We were already
We
here,
were already here. The
and
Wampanoag.
Christianity was not here. So
Yeah, the
why are you
Wampanoag.
adopt? Well, we know why,
Well,
because
you know why? Because it
they
was
beat
during
the shit out of you and tried to
yeah.
murder you if you didn't do it.
Yeah,
But
so it
that's my
was
whole point. In 2025, you knew your ancestors got their asses whooped and
yeah.
murdered for not following. Why would you follow it?
Yeah, yeah. It's
You
but
run into the churches.
it's really again, it's really hard to tell a bee, uh, or not the bee, to tell a fly that
Right,
poop stinks and honey doesn't. So
right.
it's hard to try to pull people off of something that they're so accustomed to doing. And then
Yeah,
when you bring something to them that they have not opened up the third, fourth, and fifth eyes, because there's more than three eyes,
right,
when you're talking
right.
spiritual side, it's hard to do that. So it's really a battle that you're not gonna win. You just have to do you. You
Yes.
have to do
I,
you, and no
yeah,
judgment
and I
on them.
actually, one thing I don't do is try to convince people
Yeah.
to think. And it's just really about just having discernment and questioning. There's nothing
Hmm.
wrong with questioning. I just tell people don't take my word for it. Go research it.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not here to convince you. I already know. When I know the truth and it set me free, and I'm happy. But you, if you want to learn yourself, go do it.
Well,
Yeah, I use the same resources I
let
use.
let me share some information I researched back. We're gonna pivot a bit and go
Uh-huh.
back the um to the Thanksgiving history.
Right.
When we were talking about this before we got on the phone to do the show, you
Hmm.
mentioned that there's different tribes like the Wampanoag and the Pequots and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And so we've been indoctrinated to believe that this was a holiday of celebration, a friendly potluck,
Hmm.
and the pilgrims were trying to make amends and be nice to the indigenous people, but the indigenous people, which were the Wampanoags, they were actually like black Americans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were black
So
Americans.
if you do your own research, don't listen to me. Go
Hmm.
and check it out. You can even Google Wampanoag, and when they come up, I think I have some on my page.
Hmm.
They're Black people.
I'll put them up on this podcast.
Go
I'll
to
put
my
them in the
page.
picture. Yep.
Those are Black, true Black Americans. If
Hmm.
you want to say that
Hmm.
they're considered Native Americans, but those were Black people. I don't give a damn what the title is.
Right.
So based on the history that's coming out now, and everybody needs to research it, especially if you're Black American, you need to know that they were tricked into taking away their identity. They had signed some papers and they had their identity removed as a Native American, and they were actually shipped to Africa. So if it
Mhm.
was a married couple with children, they split them up and they
Mm.
sent them to Africa.
Mhm.
And that's why I always ask, where are the ships?
Mhm.
There's not one ship do we have any ships that they have in the museum or anywhere where we can show proof that they
I'm
shackles?
not really sure, but I do know that there were some ships, because I think one of the ships landed in, if I'm not mistaken, Alabama.
Or
Because
North, I think it was South Carolina,
it
where
Alabama. No, I think it's Alabama. I
hmm
think it's Alabama. Whoever's listening to this, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's
right.
Alabama was one of the last ships, because
hmm
there's an area in Alabama called Africa Town.
Okay.
Actually, let me pull that up while we're talking, because I hear that a lot. Like, where's the ships? I don't believe that there
hmm
was actually an Atlantic slave trade, because where's the ships? Okay, so if you don't see the ships anywhere, I'm pretty sure by now, some of those ships either sank. Some of them ships are underwater, just like towns are underwater. We
hmm
got a whole bunch of black towns that's underwater. So, but
There
I
are.
but I do remember reading that there's a city in Alabama. Let me see something. Africa Town. Let me see. Hold on, people. Hold on, because I want to get this right. Alabama. It's in Mobile, Alabama, Africa
Mhm.
Town. So
Oh, I think I saw a
yes.
video of that. I
Yeah,
saw a video
Africa
of that.
Town,
Yes.
because that was like the last place for the ship that came over, and those Black Americans or Africans that's over there, those Africans still spoke the language. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? They still speak the language. They still
Right.
speak the language of our ancestors, or the Africans that came over, because that is another thing about us here in America, Black Americans. We were here already, but we don't know still who we are. A lot of us still don't
Right.
know
Well,
who
I
we
think
are.
they knew the thing about with all the new evidence and the documents that are coming out from the government, they knew exactly who they were, which what they were called at the time Native Americans or Native Indians.
Mm-hmm.
However, what they had to sign these papers, and the reason why they were tricked into signing the papers is so that they can get access to the land.
Mm.
That's what happened. And then they would ship the men over to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe there were ships, but not in the way that they're saying it. Like for the amount of the slaves that they claim they shipped over here,
Mm-hmm.
thousands and thousands on a ship. They didn't even have ships weren't even that big back then. They couldn't. How could they really put them on a ship like that
Well, then that answers
in
the
that
question
amount?
about Christopher Columbus. How the heck he's
The
selling the
same way they
ocean?
lied about that.
He's selling the ocean when he was and then said he discovered America. No, you didn't discover America. You was lost. You were
Right.
lost. You were lost, and they was trying to help you find
Right.
wherever you were trying to go. And then with them being nice and bringing yourself on the land in the country, now you want
Right.
to come and bring your funky diseases and then try to slaughter
Yep.
and kill up all the people.
Right. Yep.
So all of this has been spewed years, centuries, time after
Yeah.
time. And they want to ban books. That's one of the books they need to ban, because it is all false narrative.
Yeah, all the
All of
books
it.
are false. All the books are false. They come from that family who took over education, who
Okay, well, let me tell
canceled
you who that was. Let me
the
tell you.
Rockefellers.
Yeah, no, I think that was McGraw.
Oh, well, that
Mc,
was but the
Mc,
Rockefellers are the ones in
Rockefeller's
charge.
one of them, but McGraw Hill is the one
Yeah, they
who.
started printing the education.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, but what is happening now? It's just the moment of truth now. Truth, nobody can hide it anymore. It's all coming out. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
coming out. Everybody's going to have to wake up, whether they like it or not. They're going to start waking up to it. And it's just a matter of what people doing with it. You can stay in the old way of thinking, or you can move on to the new way of thinking. Which is we've been living in an illusion, really, all this time. And now we're waking up, and now we see the real truth of things. So now it's time to start living in truth and operating in truth instead of
Mm-hmm.
in an illusion. And that's really pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And it's all about greed and control and power. And we all know that.
Of course, because the 1% are the ones that's behind all this. And
Yeah.
until we
Yeah.
understand that the masses of us, we have the
We're the
control.
majority.
Yeah, we have the
Right.
control. And then if we don't understand how to use that control, it's gonna
Right.
be this way. But I'm in this state of mind. Really, the mindset has to change for everybody. But
It really
I'm
does.
in this state of mind where I am setting up space Excuse me, that's my cat in the background. I
Oh,
am setting up, because he's so loud. I
yeah.
am setting up space for family members that are willing to move forward, create a new version of us as family, as a
That's
village.
what I'm all for that.
Yeah, as
Like
a
seriously,
village.
I swear to you, when
Yes.
I looked on Facebook and saw our family doing that celebration, that feast, I was like, look at them. They're like sheep and don't even understand or not, and they don't care to understand some of them. They just want to do it just to do it
Well, they
because that's
do it
all they
because
know.
they have been programmed to do it. And like
Yeah,
I said,
it's just amazing to
people
me.
don't want to change routine.
They don't.
They
They
won't
don't.
change the routine. Oh, I'm gonna do it. Well, that's you. Well, I know it's me. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just asking you. Like,
Let's try to switch
I'm
it up.
trying to show you there's other ways that
Other
we can
ways.
do this,
Yes.
and it doesn't
I,
have to be on this day.
it don't. And
It
that's
could
what I was
be.
saying.
It
Like,
could be every
change
day.
the whole day. Change the whole day. Let's do something totally different,
Hmm.
and call it something else. But why do we have to be robots? Why do we have to be, these players in this game and do exactly what the game says to do? We don't have to do that. We
Oh,
create our own traditions, and the little kids were sitting at the table running to the feast, and they don't even know what they
well, the
feasting on.
kids don't know. The
No,
kids
that's what
don't
I'm
know.
saying.
The
They don't
kids don't
know,
know. They
and that's
just
what's
ready to
so
eat.
sad about it,
Yeah.
that they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
And if you told those children, I guarantee you, they were like, I'm not eating that. I'm not doing that. We
Yeah,
shouldn't do that. I
they
bet they'll have more common sense.
yeah. But listen
you
to
know?
this. So this happened back in 1621. That the whole Thanksgiving started in 1621,
Hmm.
and it was it's not a religious holiday. Just so
Nope.
everybody knows, it's not a religious holiday, and it's
Nope.
not back then in 1621. It wasn't a repeated annual holiday. What
Right.
they did this. It was a 3-day harvest
Right.
celebration where when they slaughtered the Wampanoag people
Hmm.
and the English settlers who were not yet allies, but were maintaining an uneasy peace, because
Right.
once they did their uneasy peace by killing and massacre of the Wampanoags and the Pequot people, they would have a 3-day harvest celebration. So
Right.
what made it become a holiday?
Thanksgiving. Right. You see what I'm saying?
What made it become a holiday? Let me tell you what made it become a holiday.
Hmm.
So, in the 1600s to the 1700s, governors would declare days of Thanksgiving to celebrate, like 3 days, 4 days, however long they wanted
It
to
was.
celebrate this. And they would have military victories. They would do these
Hmm.
successful raids, and
Right.
then expansions of the colonies, and creating
Right.
colonist land. This is what
Right.
they're celebrating.
Colonizing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
this is basically what they're celebrating. And so
Killing.
instead of doing it annually, they was doing it for weeks.
Right.
Okay. So what made it become a holiday of Thanksgiving? Thank Abraham Lincoln,
Right.
because Abraham Lincoln created the Thanksgiving that we know of today in
Right.
1863.
Mm.
This was during the Civil War. He
Right.
declared Thanksgiving a national holiday,
Right.
not because of pilgrims,
Thankfulness.
not because of the pilgrims,
Right.
but he wanted to unify a divided nation. That was what he was trying to do with Thanksgiving. His
Right.
reason of doing it was to try to unite us. Okay. He wanted
Mm.
to encourage gratitude,
Right.
during the war, and then
Right.
create a shared American tradition. Like, he wanted to share America with everybody, like coming together. Let's be thankful, let's be grateful, but not still explaining, because now you're
Right.
talking,
Where it came from.
yeah, you're talking 1863. The first Thanksgiving gathering was in 1620 something, right? So you're
Right.
talking two, four,
Two,
what is
three
that,
hundred years.
400 years, right?
Right.
So he created it to be a national holiday, trying to
Trying to cover it up.
right, a divided nation, and then
Right.
encourage gratitude, during the war, thanking everybody, being supportive, loving on each other, and trying to share the American tradition by coming together and eating and feasting. But
Mm.
that was his whole purpose of doing it.
Right.
So the myth was invented to promote like an identity for America.
America.
Yeah, like
Right.
an identity.
So
'Cause-
sweeping it all under the rug,
yeah,
really,
yeah.
and sugarcoating.
So, of course, in the 1800s, all the way up to the 1900s, that's when they start rewriting the story in the textbook
Right.
as a
Right.
friendly feast,
Mm.
trying to make it like it was friendly, that the pilgrims and the indigenous people are getting together and,
Right.
they're going to make amends. And this is America. America loves you and we're here. And,
Right.
and America didn't belong to them. They came over
Right.
here
They
and
stole it.
stole it and then gave
Right.
them all kind of diseases with dirty, funky blankets and all kind of nasty stuff on it and getting the people
Right.
sick.
Right.
The messy part of all of that history, the genocide, the war, stealing the
They,
land,
yep.
all of that was removed out of the textbooks.
Yep.
And so the holiday became a family focused national tradition
Mm.
in America to make America look like we're family first. No, you're not.
So it was a PR move.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much
That's
what
what
it is.
Abraham Lincoln
Even
did.
though we're still doing the ritual.
That's what Abraham Lincoln did. He tried to reverse the real deal and erase the real deal, not
Right.
just
To
him.
get a better image for
Right.
America.
Not just him, because it started like way before he decided to make it a national holiday, but it was
Right.
still being told wrong. It was still being told
Yeah, it was still being hidden.
all the
And they still
information
had
was
their
told.
PR.
Yeah.
They're still doing PR,
Mm-hmm.
marketing and promotions
Just telling
for the brand of America.
of
the company.
America, making America
Yeah,
look
you
like
know,
their
America's a
family,
company.
a
Yeah.
family first, a United
Yeah,
States
that
of
sounds
America
good.
Incorporation.
Sounds
Yes.
good on paper, but
Mhm. So
it's not
today,
real.
so that is what Thanksgiving is today. It is a day of gratitude, a day of family and rest. It's a day of reflection. And I don't know what they mean by family and rest, baby, because everybody is ripping and running, cooking and cleaning, doing all kind of stuff. It's
Spending
supposed,
money, making America
Yep.
more money.
It's supposed to be a day of reflection and togetherness. This is what Thanksgiving means today. But
Right.
many indigenous people observe this day
As a mourning.
as a national day of mourning. That's just like
Exactly.
Black people.
Yeah.
I know Black people would be, well, these indigenous people were Black, but
Right.
but
They were.
today's Black Americans who
They
were
are Black. Where do you see them?
okay,
Yeah.
but listen to this. Today's Black Americans from, moving forward in the 1900s, all the way from the enslaved and freed slaves, that's like celebrating a lynching. That's
Yes,
like every
exactly.
year we get together and we feast, because the feast, when we found out that the feast has something to do with lynching Black men and
Yeah,
women and
every time
children,
after they lynch somebody,
they
they go
go
have
have
a
a
feast
celebration
and
3
celebrate.
days. 3
And you
days.
mean to tell me if you knew that happened, you would continue to
No.
quote
That is
unquote
the
celebrate
national
this?
day of mourning for them. It is a time to honor their ancestors. That's what they
And
did.
that's what
And
it should be,
yes,
an
it's
honoring and a
mhm.
remembrance of them.
Yeah.
But it's
So
not. And it's not.
yeah. So
So I did that this year. I honored them, and that was the first year I ever did that. And I had a little meal that
mhm.
didn't have anything to do with turkey. I didn't do no turkey.
No,
I
I
didn't do
don't
any
do
of
turkey. I don't even eat meat. So
that. So
I don't
yeah,
even eat meat. But we're gonna wrap this up real
that
quick.
was a wonderful
Yes.
explanation. I love
And
the history.
yes, we're gonna keep doing this, because I think the more people learn, listen, because sometimes people just don't feel like reading and people don't
Right.
want to do the research on their own. They rather listen to someone do it for them. And I always say I do the research for you so you don't have to, but I do recommend you do
Yeah.
the due diligence to do your own
I
research,
mean, it's simple to
because
just Google.
this
Yeah,
information is free.
it
And
is.
don't just rely on Google and Chat GPT.
Right.
Go to the library.
Go to the
They
library.
still got some real books in there.
And matter of fact, they got archives online from actual newspapers, and you can look up these tribes and see what they looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And you will see that they were called Native Indians, Native American Indians, and those people were completely Black. Period.
I'm gonna put their picture up on the thumbnail
Yeah.
of this podcast so that they can see, and then
And you should see the little girls with their braids in their hair,
Mhm,
all
mhm.
kind of stuff. You'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
This
Well,
was wonderful. Thank you, Sunny Bun Son.
yes, I'll be back, and I'll bring you on again, and we'll keep this going, and we'll talk about the
All
next
right.
line
Thank
that you've been
you.
told.
All right.
All right. Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye.